What's up, guys? My name is Justin. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are back on iRacing for another round of production car challenge in the Renault Clio here today at Brands Hatch. Should be a good race. We do have another Clio with us, which I'm very thankful for, but unfortunately, Misa Jackson, I have no pace. I mean, my pace has been awful. This is 3/10 better than any other lap I've run this week. So we're going to be right in the thick of it with all the 86s for sure are going to be faster, and some of the mods, as you can see. So it's going to be an absolute cluster. I'm terrified. But again, we're going to see how it goes. Hopefully it's fun. Hopefully we can learn something because maybe it's a British track thing. I like Brands Hatch. I feel pretty good about here, but like Snariton, I'm just awful. So I don't know what it is. I was terrible here. I've raced it a couple times before. I was terrible here. PCC a couple years ago. You might remember if you've been watching my videos for a long time. I ran the Mustang here. I ran supercars here in the rain a season or two ago, probably 2 seasons ago. I can't remember. Whenever the new supercar came out, and I ran against Bryce in the K5 Drying Track Series. That was on the short Indy layout, but I was terrible at that too as far as pace. So don't know what it is, but we just don't have any pace here today. So we're just gonna have to try to stay alive, stay out of trouble, not make any mistakes, and hope for the best. But it seems like some people have had some crazy races this week. So a couple familiar names. Avery is here. He's a top 86 driver. Just scrolling through. Travis is here. Alex, the CM from Mazda, Advanced Mazda, sorry, is here. And obviously the other 29 car is the other uh, Clio. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. Don't know what to expect. Hopefully it's fun. Hopefully, and we can just kind of live and get through this. And hopefully it's entertaining. So I'd like to try to run an 86 if I have some extra time this weekend. We'll have to wait and see. It's a big if. So regardless, we got to get this on the books, obviously, running for points. So not 4 points as usual, but, chasing points totals, not running 4 points as usual. So we'll see how it goes. Should be fun. Hopefully it's survivable. Only 5 BMWs in this split, which I found very interesting. I was a little bit surprised by that. I figured there would be more, but this is a single split of like 36 cars or whatever. So maybe that'll be chaotic. Maybe it won't be. Lap times are like 140-ish for us, so it's probably going to be 17, 18 laps somewhere in there. We'll just have to wait and see. Maybe 16. Again, depends on how it all shakes out. There should be a BMW that's going to grid next to us, but it doesn't look like they ran a Q lap. May or may not have connected. Doesn't look like it. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully it's fun. Again, hopefully we can enjoy something, learn a little something. And again, that 39.8 I ran in Q was all I had. That was all the pace. I had nothing more than that. Nothing more to give. That was just about all I could muster. So that's part of it, I suppose. Looks like the other Clio doesn't really want to leave a gap, which is fine. I understand. Going to make us race them, though, or risk dying. So we'll have to think about that, what we want to do on this pace lap here. But again, this is probably going to be a struggle bus, single split struggle bus, Clio struggle bus. It's a lot of struggles going on here. So we're going to have to be on our toes, try to make something of this. And if we can find some pace, great. If we can't, then hopefully we at least can get out of here with a good finish. Obviously, only 2 of us. We got to win. So a lot of pressure. Front tires are going to go off because not only am I not fast, but I seem to be absolutely roasting tires here. So I think we're probably, because there's only 4 BMWs up ahead of us, we're probably going to elect to be right on top of them with the other Clio. And again, hope for the best there. So again, maybe we'll just have a good race. Maybe it'll be a lot of fun. We'll learn a lot. But number one goal and the key here is to get through it with 0x and survive. And just kind of check this one off. Again, we'll see about running an 86 race later this weekend. I have some other stuff I need to do that I have plans for. I'm going to be out of the house for a couple days this weekend for some personal things. So a lot going on, but definitely would like to get a 86 in because I do like the track and I do like the 86 around here. I'm just probably woefully slow. I ran 3 laps of practice before I started my Clio prep and was just nowhere and killed myself. So wasn't pretty, wasn't good, but we'll just have to see how it goes. So I appreciate you all so very much. The support on the videos has been incredible lately. I'm so thankful for all the love for Clio races and PCC, all my PCC Clio community people, and the other classes, I suppose, as well. The DDP support I've gotten, Ford GT2 support, Porsche Unleashed support, last episode of Porsche Unleashed coming out on Saturday, and then the support for the first episode of Road Trip Adventure was awesome. So thankful for each and every one of you. It's awesome. Things are really clicking along right now, and I'm super thrilled by all of it. So hopefully we can have a good race here, have some fun, sit back, relax, enjoy it. 25 minutes, here we go. See if we can get clear here into turn one. Going to be tough around this top lane. Cold tires, of course, just going to take it nice and easy. We do have a nice gap back to the 86s for now, but of course I think they're going to come up in here and spoil the party a little bit. They're going to be mega fast, so even though we have that 11-second gap, definitely going to be running us down. You see them coming down the hill. That's actually a really cool shot there. Incident ahead. That's impressive considering there's only 4 cars. I know it registers that when there's a 4X, but it's still interesting. So again, the BMWs are not that much faster than the 86s around here. They're in like the 34s, 35s. The fast 86s are probably in the 36s, 37s. So it's not as straightforward as you'd think. This is just about the worst track for Clio, or sorry, yeah, just for a Clio, but for 86 against BMW, I mean, their overtaking is going to be extremely limited. Again, I'm going to shred through my tires here, so that's going to be no good. But we're definitely going to be in trouble. Every single 86 damn near is probably going to be faster than us, and a lot of the Mazda field I'd expect as well. So again, part of that's just me being awful. Yeah, BMW spun out there. That's Leonardo. Interesting. This corner I've struggled with a lot. I mean, all of them have been, but definitely have some homework to do. I've enlisted the help of Carl, but we haven't gotten a chance to sit down and talk yet, so I figured I'd go in blind just to give myself a baseline and hopefully learn a little bit as the week goes on. Bob had an interesting race in this already this week, so go check that out from the other day. Yeah, I think he finished 3rd, but he got lapped right at the end by DJ, who was in the leading BMW. DJ's a great guy. Worked with him a lot way back, about 10 years ago on Mazda sets, like way back in the day. So good guy, incredible driver, 7K guy, so very talented. But you see there, the 86s were like 3 seconds faster than us that lap. But anyway, so he got lapped by DJ, like coming to the finish line as he was battling for 2nd place, which was very uncharacteristic. Usually DJ is a very classy guy and very high race IQ, but that was an interesting, silly move by DJ. But that was a good race, so go check out Bob's channel and go watch him if you don't already. I think that Bryce has had a couple of races here. Not sure if he's recorded any of them or not. I don't know if Carl has. But as usual, all the usual friends that run PCC have gotten some good racing in, so seems like this is an interesting track. A lot of people love it. I actually am a big fan. I don't love it. It's not A+ in my opinion, but it's a good track. I do enjoy it. It's grown on me a lot over the last couple of years. But definitely a track that I seem to struggle with on the sim for whatever reason. So probably just need more laps here. I never really put a whole bunch of time into this place because I know my way around. I did learn this place, I think, back on like Forza 7. I'm trying to think of when I first played this. I was probably in college because I remember coming home from break and my brother had just gotten Forza 7 for his Xbox. And that was the first time I've been exposed to this, and I just bought it on the sim like within the last 2 years. Again, that Mustang race was my first ever race here, and that was just a couple seasons ago, you know, 6 or 8 seasons ago, within the last 2 years for sure. So the 86s have finally caught Misha behind. Misha? Don't drive off track like a dumbass. Thank you very much. Very easy to get the car kind of wobbling there because it does not like that first corner being front wheel drive and kind of almost top heavy. It kind of floats. It's very strange, but unfortunately looks like the other Clio has gone off there. Might have been some contact and incident with the leading 86s, but keep it off the grass. Avoid the 1Xs would be good. Push the boundary there just a little bit unintentionally. But again, we'll just not fight any of these guys. Got just no front turn. I feel like I'm rolling through. Maybe I need to be doing some more brake drag. I don't know. I don't usually do a lot of trail braking in this car. It sounds like he got punted. He, she, they, whatever. Apologies. So that's unfortunate, really. Again, we create a nice gap, but that doesn't mean you ever want to see your opposition get punted. So Avery must not agree with that diagnosis. So again, we'll just get out of all these guys' way. There's no point. But if you notice something on the video that I'm doing just catastrophically wrong, let me know. Again, usually I feel pretty competent in the Clio, not 5, 6, 7K pace, but definitely a 4K pace. And this week we're like 1K pace, so I just don't have any answers for why we're so lacking here. But regardless, again, we had to get one in. We're running for points. Again, not chasing points, but we're running full season for participation as usual. So looks like, unfortunately, the other Clio had to tow, so that's very sad. I'll have to go back and watch that on lap number 3 and see what the incident was. So yeah, pace hasn't been there. We'll just keep chilling and kind of accidentally tire saving basically, because I don't have any solution to go faster, so we might as well keep the fronts on if we can. Obviously quite a twisty track, a lot of high-speed corners. And again, it sucks because I really actually like this track. I loved it. The supercar race we did here in the rain was awesome. I was very pleasantly surprised by that. Didn't actually mind the Mustang race we did here, whenever that was either. And the race with Bryce and Billy in the Mazda Cup for the Drawing Track Series was a lot of fun also. But again, I've just always been kind of slow. I've been off pace. I haven't been able to maximize it. Funnily enough, I think the most pace I had was in the supercar in the rain, so that tells you about how competent I am here. And again, maybe there's some glaring issue I'm not understanding or not doing. I'm sure Carl and Bryce will be the first to tell me, but I'd like to get a little better here. Over the rest of the week, we'll keep running some laps, even though I'm getting my race in here. Probably won't race another one just because of time's sake, but I'd like to learn. I'd like to get a little faster and figure some things out, so hopefully help us next time we come back here. This is, of course, a paid track, so we'll have to get voted in again. Nominated and voted, but obviously it carried strong support from last season's vote, so track voting, while I'm thinking of it, is completed. Schedule has not been published or released or submitted or anything yet, but we have our tracks ready to go, so that will be announced hopefully in the coming weeks. Don't know exactly when they're going to ask for schedules, but I'm sure it will be very soon. They usually do it in week 3 or 4, and we're about midway through week 4 now, so nice and smooth in T1. Just no pace. I mean, again, we're not pushing at all, but still no pace, even not pushing. And, you know, cruise mode usually you'd expect to be a second or a second and a half off pace. Well, I'm a second or a second and a half off pace pushing, so that does not bode well for me. It said the car in front was pitting. I don't know how that can be. We're in 4th out of 4, and the other guy's behind us. So I don't know if that's a mistakes call or what's going on, but no matter. The 86-liter Avery coming up behind us here will go by us without too much issue, I assume. Here in the next couple of corners, we'll get a nice run down the straightaway. He's going to flash me from 7 car lengths back, as 1 cars tend to do. No need. Again, first of all, I'm faster down the straight, so you're not catching me here. I saw you a long time ago. I've been doing this long enough, so obviously we won't hold him up or fight him, but tough to get out of the way in some of these places. Not a great place to try to make a pass, of course, here. That was not done very well by me, I admit. I thought there was a bigger gap between these two. I wasn't paying close enough attention to the second guy. Thankfully, he made it around. It didn't cost him too much time, I don't think, but I thought there was a bigger gap to let the second guy go after that corner, but no matter. He's still there or thereabouts on the front guy, so I think that's fair game. Didn't want to hold up either of them, but just put myself in a bad spot, all my own doing. Don't drive off the track again, dumbass. Al's right behind us next. And he does have some gap behind him. He's just by himself, so that's fine. So yeah, not a great week for me. Not a great week of racing. I haven't felt very comfortable. I was really comfortable actually in DDP last week, or last night, the video you saw yesterday at Homestead. Didn't quite have the pace there either, so it's just been a rough week for lap time for me. I felt comfortable. I felt really good about the prep we put in. But just wasn't quite fast enough, and that's kind of typical of me at Homestead. Never been great there on the short run, but we weren't very good in the long run either. We'll have to see how WRL Sonoma plays out. That's going to be an interesting one. Tyler's League that you'll probably see in a couple days. Ford GT2 at VIR. Again, I feel okay, but tough to find the Ford is the main problem with that. And then again, the 86 you already talked about. 86 has felt terrible here. Don't know why. IMSA, I'm going to try to get in IMSA in the LMDH at Canadian Tire. But that's, again, going to be a big if. I'm very slow there. I'm going to drive the Cadillac if I get a chance, just because it's the best car, best sounding car. But Cadillac seems to be BOP'd a little bit behind the other cars, and I'm just bad. So we'll see. Again, all about timing. I have some other plans and stuff going on. So Yeah, I hope y'all are having a wonderful Wednesday. Hope y'all are having a bright, sunny, happy day. I am certainly happy myself. Life is good. I do have some plans in the work for some track day stuff and some car stuff, so that would be awesome to finalize in the coming weeks and months. A lot of big changes going on, actually, so I'm pretty happy to be able to share those with you in due time. That time is not quite yet, but in due time. We'll get Al by us here in the next couple sectors. Nice easy pass for the Toyota there. Another 3 seconds back to the 4th, 5th, 6th. I guess 4th and 5th, because there's another 4 seconds after the two behind us before the next group there, so that's fine by me. Again, we'll get a nice run down the hill here in the draft, save ourselves a little bit more time. They're going to out-corner us, they're going to outbrake us. All standard stuff. So yeah, I feel good around here. Comfort-wise, it's very strange. We just have no pace, so this has been a tough week for me. So let me know what you're racing, whether this week, upcoming weeks, anything else. Let me know what you're running, because I have a couple of days open that I might be able to join you if something sounds interesting or unique. I would love to if I get the opportunity, but of course that's a big if, so I'll do my best. Where are we looking at on time here? About not quite halfway, so within the next lap obviously we'll be past halfway, so probably looking at 16 laps again here. Roughly, maybe 17 depending on where the leaders are, maybe 15 if they get, caught up in traffic and have to slow down a little bit. Could all play, so between 15 and 17 I would think here. I feel not good about my pace at all, but I feel comfortable at the pace we're doing, and obviously the other guy unfortunately had that issue that we'll have to go back and look at, start a lap 3 with Avery, so we'll have to go back and see what happened, whose fault that was. Kind of surprised there isn't a little more participation here. Obviously, with 44 car splits that we have for the season, it's tough to get a split, especially at a semi-unpopular paid track. I mean, this isn't Spa or Watkins or anything. Looks like those guys behind us are scrabbling a little bit. I didn't hear what the guy said, but that's all right. So yeah, it's not a super high participation track by any means, but it's a pretty popular one. I think most people like it. Obviously, British people and UK people find this track quite good and love it, so participation's been okay. I'm just kind of surprised at like 6:30 on a Tuesday there's no splits going on, so, and no more BMWs. I expected a lot more BMWs perhaps, so maybe it's just because they don't really particularly fit well here. Again, very quirky track, a lot of long sweeping corners, long brake zones. That car does not like that, but that's okay. So hopefully very soon we'll have some Will action back again. He's been out injured, so hoping, praying Will for the best. He's been going through it, so all my PCC friend video content has come from Chad, so Chad is absolutely killing it right now. He's running both the M2 and the 86 for the full season this season in PCC, and he's getting really, really good. He's almost a 2K, and I think he's probably running out of pace in the trajectory that'll put him at 3K in the next couple months if he continues like this. Wow, the 22 just threw a huge dive at the 12 there. Not sure if that was payback or what, but that was a send and a half. That was like a Ferrucci send, but looks like they both at least survive for the time being. So we'll jump out of their way because I want no part of any of that shit. But so yeah, Chad's been killing it. Make sure you go check out Chad Bremer. His channel, great content, an incredible guy, super nice guy, a lot of fun, and is really developing as a sports car guy. He's more of a Formula Ford guy, but we'll convert him over to our PCC ways. But I don't think Bryce has recorded anything. Again, I don't think Carl has been too deeply involved in PCC for most weeks here, other than at the bend, trying to check the bend off. But trying to think of who else may have run some of this lately that we could talk about. Again, Will's been out injured. Carl's going to be on vacation coming up. Will's been still recovering. I think he said he's close to the point where he can run some laps again, but not a full race distance or anything. We might see him back in some PCC just because they're shorter races. Obviously a little bit less physical than some of the other stuff you can drive on the sim, so we'll see if we get some Will spottings the next couple of weeks around here. But just realized that 32 card's name is Tamburello. That's quite the name. Podium is looking good. Sir, there are only 2 cars in class. The podium was assured even if I had logged in and left immediately. But probably let these 2 behind us go again. I want no part of whatever garbage they're fighting over here. Just really not good. I don't want to be caught up in any of that shit, so... Overdrove that just a little bit. That's alright, though. '86s are close behind, but not close enough, I don't think, yet to jump out of their way, particularly. I flipped that all to hell. Just let both these guys go, no point in fighting them. Again, big gap behind, so we got the 17 car and another 5 or 6 seconds back to the leading Mazdas, so we're doing okay on spacing here, making sure we focus forwards. We're in pretty good shape, just under 9 minutes to go. So we're about 2/3 distance, not quite, so. Still doing good. The Mr. Tamburello here, the 32 car, is going to get right in the way of these guys, right in the apex. This is a very sketchy situation there. Everybody's going to make it through, thankfully. Let all of us go, which is awesome. Appreciate that. So yeah, definitely not the most exciting race ever. Hopefully we can get some other recordings done there a little bit more complicated and fun and enthralling than this one is. But again, this is my series. This is my baby. This car is important to me, so you're always going to see this car, even if it's solo races or near enough solo races. Talked about not wanting to run solo Ford GT2 races because those fields are quite small. They spread out a lot. They can be quite boring, but PCC, obviously being my community manager series, is important. But also, it's all about loving this car, enjoying the driving experience, the racing experience, the multi-class experience. It's all good. So I still love racing these even by myself, so that you've seen in the past plenty of times. So always good to find other Clios, though, so that's always the goal. So a nice 4-second gap back now, which is still good. Still got these 2 right in front of us here. I'm keeping an eye on them because they've definitely be throwing some haymakers and don't want to be involved in any of that, so we got to be ready to dodge if they have any contact. Bryce has had a couple different races this week where he's gotten wrecked out right at the end, so always paying attention to the cars around us and how dumb they may or may not be. Speaking of dumb, Carl ran a Porsche Cup race at Tsukuba in the nighttime because he's never... Oh, there's a car over there. Didn't even see that. Good. Carl ran Porsche Cup at Tsukuba, so go check that video if you haven't seen it. Don't follow Carl already, but that was an absolute disaster class. Everything that could go wrong could go wrong. He had his own version of my Kia Snariton race is essentially what happened. He got in a first lap accident, went all the way to the back of the field from the pole, got in a couple other incidents with dummies, and a couple were his fault just because he's trying to be too aggressive, I get, trying to make up time, but people definitely wrecked him right back as well. And then finally got in a spot where he was going to be able to salvage a decent finish, and his game froze, so he picked up another couple incidents and finished right at the back. So was not a good day. Obviously, Carl is just as competitive as I am and 95% as clean and respectful on track as I am. That was a dig at you, Carl. I still love you, don't worry. But yeah, I'm probably the only person that's more clean and respectful and patient on track than he is. Again, another dig, but he's phenomenal. He's obviously much more talented and speedy, and 4 of the 5 licenses, maybe even 5. His his oval racing has gotten quite good lately, so might be better than me in all 5 licenses, but definitely in 4. So, but yeah, it's always a lot of fun to watch him, learn from him, and he always is, that calm guy that's just there to give tips and provide a good show, good action. He doesn't do it for the YouTube fame or anything like that. He does it because he's a pure racer and likes teaching other people and likes having a history and a record of his races. So always great to watch him, but he was pretty upset about that race, and I don't blame him. That's, again, if you remember back, those of you that have not seen the infamous Kia Snariton video, if you just look up my name and then Kia Snariton, you'll know which one it is immediately. But that he was pretty much that upset. He doesn't really vocalize it or get as upset as I did in that moment, and as I tend to do when things don't go well. But he's a guy that usually is completely monotone, keeps his cool, and that certainly was not the case after that Tsukuba race. So turned in a little bit too early there. The other thing I don't know about this track, I don't know any of the corner names. I probably should learn some of them because There are only like 8 corners here, but I don't know any of the corner names. So I should learn that. But we're in a good spot. We got 6 seconds back to the next, was that 6th place 86, and then we got about 8 seconds back to the leading Mazdas. They're definitely catching us, but we only have about 3 or 4 laps to go here, so they may not catch us entirely. And the BMWs may not catch us entirely, still to be determined. Obviously, we didn't really leave them any gap there at the start, and the BMWs are, you know, super mega fast, you know, multiple thousand iRatings, so we might be able to stay alive here and finish on the lead lap. That would be nice. That's a pretty rare occurrence, but again, nice twisty track here, even though my pace is terrible. May help us with that. And again, they've got to get through some traffic of their own between the BMWs and the 86s before they get to me. But they have a little bit of time yet, so I'm not going to count my chickens before they hatch. Overdrive that corner again, just lazy sliding the front tires. It's pretty awful on my part, actually, but it's Victor back in 3rd. So the leading, Alex actually is back in 5th for Mazda Cup. The leading BMW is 30 seconds behind, so I guess we are in, we're only behind 2 BMWs, I guess, based on that, so whatever, but it does mean that we will almost certainly not be lapped if they're 30 seconds behind, still around a minute and 35 or a minute 40 track for them, so probably come to like 3 to go. I don't know again exactly where they're at, but if they're roughly 30 seconds behind me, they'll probably be at about 2.5 minutes to go, which is 2 laps, so we'll be at 3 laps to go here, which will put us with 16 laps total. Good math there, Justin. That may or may not be Carl telling me how bad I am in the Clio right now. I asked him again earlier for those tips and said, hey, if you get a chance, run some laps for me and tell me what I'm doing wrong. And his actual response was, yeah, you're way off pace. Like, you're just awful. He didn't actually say I was awful, but I know that's what he was thinking because, yeah, I mean, I literally have 1,000 iRating pace this week. So I was a little happier with the Q lap. Again, first time I was sub 40, but our race pace here, granted, we're just chilling, but our race pace has been terrible. So whatever, no matter. Trying to think of the next time I'm going to be on an oval, because WRL's at Sonoma this week. Hopefully you'll see that Friday. Hopefully we don't get killed on the last lap for the win this week. That would be ideal, so you know who you are. Please don't kill me. But yeah, big thanks to Tyler for putting that on. Very excited for Sonoma. I actually beat Stanby a couple years ago at Watkins Glen in my first 87 start, or maybe it was my second 87 start, first road course, because I think I ran Darlington first. So very excited for that. I know he's going to be strong. He's always very good in the 87s at every track, but obviously I fancy my chances at Sonoma. So we'll have to play that one by ear and see how it works out. Guys behind just starting to catch up a little bit, but nothing
I thought I was dead.
absurd. Again, 2 laps are not going to make up 4 seconds, I don't think. Although they are quite fast, seemingly. They're a couple seconds lap faster than me right now. So maybe they will. I don't know. They were just 8 seconds a couple laps ago, so.
Dang.
So, here we are. 2 laps to go. 3.5 seconds is the gap back. We'll see how much time he gains this lap on us. See if I can run a little faster. Big old slide into turn 1. Another awful lap there of 41. Just terrible. Of course, the Mazda doesn't corner or brake quite as well as the 86 does, but is a little faster on the straightaways. Just a little more oomph. A little bit of front slide there, ran a little bit too wide, but we lived. 5 laps of fuel is plenty. So yeah, I've enjoyed this one. Good to check it off, get it out of the way in the books. Not impressed with the performance at all, but you're not going to be good everywhere. In fact, some places you're going to be downright bad. Again, maybe it's a UK track thing, but terrible at Snellerton last season, terrible here this season. Hopefully this is our mulligan week for the season where we're just nowhere, but I'd like to still, again, improve a little bit throughout the week here if we can, because I think that I have more pace and have more consistency. Just not unlocking it right now for whatever reason, so One more time through the final corner, and then we'll come to the white flag. Guy behind went from 4 seconds to 2.2 or so. Don't think he'll quite catch us, about a second and a half faster, but he'll be right on top of us. So one more to go. Credit One Bank, sponsor me, please, so I can do a lot of things that aren't just this, do some other things with track days and so on. Well, looks like more drama at the front of the 86 field. That was actually, it felt like a good lap. See if we can finish out with a decent lap here on this one as well. Probably a little bit too timid there. That was, could have been attacked a little bit harder there, but we had to get through it obviously and live. No drama up ahead, everybody's pretty spread out. Thought about maybe holding 5th through there as the race went on, but no matter. Blue flag does not mean get off the racing line, sir. You should know that if you read the sporting code or just have a brain, but we won't talk about that today. Informational only. .6 seconds back to Artem, who's going to come through and win Mazda Cup. One more corner.
Blue flag means you can let him pass. This is not that fun.
There we go. And that is Brands Hatch done and dusted. Thank goodness, because I am awful. It was my best lap, though, so it was an okay lap. 40.2. Again, not great, but there or thereabouts at least. So slightly less, slightly less embarrassing. Still every bit as bad, though, so that's okay. Happens. Take it, chalk it up to whatever this is, on to the next. Couple more cars yet to finish. There they go. Everybody's done. We'll see what happened to Misa with Avery and those front runners there at the start on lap 3. That's really unfortunate. Again, I think we were okay pace-wise. Not impressive, but okay. But still, you never want to see your competition get wrecked like that, whether it was their fault or not. Travis had 0x. I had 0x, obviously. Andrew, the 22 car right ahead of us, had 0x. Everybody else had multiples. So it's part of it. We'll go ahead and look at lap number 3 here. See what happens. We'll go back and look from Avery's view. Yeah, that is correct. It is informational. All right, into turn 1 here. Clio ahead, slows down. Out wide, Avery comes through. Oh, first of all, this is just mega netcode. That's crazy, but I suppose you get that when you have wherever Avery's from and then Japan. Canada to Japan is some quite crazy netcode there. So, I mean, at some point here, the Clio has to come back on the track, and Avery needs to know that. But at the same time, you're not fighting each other. The Clio could have stayed out here, and Avery could have. They both could have cut each other some breaks here, but Avery definitely did not leave this car an option. Technically, I don't know if this is considered off the track, so you have to rejoin safely, and this is the class leader, of course. But that's just part of how this goes. It's multi-class. It's 2 into 1. But then here, they're good. And breaks the right rear suspension, I think, probably based on that look. Netcodes the hell out of the poor Clio, breaks the back, breaks the bumper off, breaks the right rear. We've had that before. I've been pushed around by Dave and some other people in the BMW and just broken the right rear suspension just from a push, like a bump draft. Casey as well has pushed me for that. So just one of those deals. I think that's probably a racing deal. They both could have done a better job of putting themselves in a better position to live through that, of course, but sometimes that's racing. So go check out the results. We get 10 ironing of it. Feels like hollow 10. We probably didn't deserve to get any, partially because we were slow, partially because, again, this other car was never going to be a match at 1100 ironing. It's just unfortunate that it was only 2 of us. 81 championship points is not as many as we'd get if we race solo. So whatever. Again, we don't care about the points, not chasing it, but just for reference. So we'll take the plus 10. I guess that goes on the charts. We're marching up a little bit more. Not that it means anything. We're not chasing points. We're not chasing top divisions or whatever, but happy with it nonetheless. So that's going to be it. We'll see what else we can get recorded through the rest of the week. But so thankful for each and every one of you. Appreciate all love and support. It's been amazing. I'm so blessed and so thankful. Hope to have some more good content coming both on the sim and off in the coming weeks. So thank you all so much. That's going to be it for me. Till next time, as always, bye.